Hello all my YouTube followers. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to you all for your support this year. I do appreciate that. I haven't done loads of videos this year, but one exciting thing for next year is, well, I've got a couple of things. Basically, I'm starting again with a lot of sponsors next year, which I'm excited about. I'll go into a bit more detail in a second. But there is a lot more investment going into my YouTube. So hopefully we will have a lot more regular videos for you all. But I appreciate those that have carried on following me, even though I haven't been that great with it, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas with your friends and family. And yeah, you all had some downtime and still managed to get out on your bike. I've been in the UK with my family and the weather's been rubbish. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Girona. But I did do a little Q&A thing on my Instagram a few weeks ago that I said I would answer on my YouTube before I closed out for the year. So first of all, I thought I should talk about this year and my team and being with Felt United and everything. Obviously being on a team with Dylan and Adam, especially Dylan, he's a good friend of mine, and it was super fun. The whole Felt United was a great gig, but sadly they decided to focus on the men's side going into next year, which, you know, can't really say much more about that, but it is what it is. So yeah, I won't be with Felt United for next year, but I am super excited that I'm working with some really cool brands, with some multi-year deals, who really invest in women's cycling, and hopefully we can create a really cool thing together. And I really love the community side of cycling, so alongside my racing I'll really be trying to get more involved in the community side, because I've got a passion for getting other people outdoors and on bikes. And yeah, these brands are really on my side with all that, and of course I really want to race hard and get good results. So yeah, I'm super excited. But yeah, no more Felt United for me, but I'm okay with that actually now. I've processed it all. I'm still good friends with Dylan, like we still chat, and I basically just wind him up about me being more aero. And I think we've got a few similar partners next year, so I'll still be messaging him all the time and seeing him at American races, because I thought I'd be doing less American races next year, but I've actually got quite a few in the calendar already. Classic. But yeah, that was Felt United. That's my little summary. I won't go into too much details, but yeah, you have to stay tuned, because I will do an announcement video probably around January with my new sponsors. I'm really excited, so yeah, look out for that one. Now I thought I'd just run through some questions I got. So someone asked me, what do I do about winter training and riding in the cold? In all honesty, like, I don't enjoy riding on the turbo that much. In the UK, I used to do it a lot more. When I'm in Girona, I just try and get out on the roads as much as possible. As long as it's safe, I like to get on the roads if it's not icy, etc. I just prefer doing my efforts outside. But I also, like, whilst I've been at my parents', we've had some horrendous winds, pretty gusty. So I actually did my sessions on Zwift, and I don't mind Zwift. It's harder. I would say if you're struggling to like match your watts on Zwift versus outdoors, I wouldn't panic too much, because things like being in the heat and things like that can affect your watts and make it actually so much harder to achieve on the turbo. So if you don't have the correct setup, like fans, etc., I would say yeah, I don't know, knock your watts down a little bit. Or like do a split day if you don't like riding in the cold that much, and you want to do still a decent day. You could just do like an hour on the turbo and then 2 hours outdoors, or an hour and a half outdoors. But yeah, splitting it up's quite good. Yeah, and during winter I also like mixing up the sports a little bit to keep it fun. Race calendar next year, I will definitely be doing chunks in the US, doing some of the UCI races, and then focusing on the Gravel Earth Series as well. So to be honest, a bit of all of it again, being here, there and everywhere. You know how I roll. And I just got some priority passes for Christmas. so I can travel in style and hopefully not lose any luggage. Let's all pray for me that I don't lose any luggage next year and I just have smooth flights to the US. First ultra advice. So Badlands was my first ultra, and I would just say get used to riding your bike for a very long time. If you're planning to like try and do the ultra like non-stop and through the night, I recommend testing all your equipment. Do a practice ride through the night to test your lights and everything, because everyone's like, oh, I'm fine riding in the dark, and then there's one thing saying it and then there's trying to do it for 2 nights on the go or 3 nights plus. Lights are essential. Like when we did Badlands this year, there was no moon. I know that sounds silly, but that makes a massive difference. It was so dark. So I use exposure lights. Highly recommend. Yes, test your equipment and get used to like nutrition that you can like use for a long time on an ultra. Get used to your equipment, get used to nutrition, get used to riding in the dark. Done. Don't overpack, but then pack the essentials. So like you clothes just be sensible with, but tools, just take as many tools and spare hangers. Don't forget a hanger, because I didn't take a spare hanger and probably could have done with a spare hanger because I was like bending mine back after I had a crash to try and carry on riding. So someone's asked, what's the most challenging race I've done? I would of course say Badlands for me. Riding 53 hours non-stop was pretty challenging, mainly because of the heat. I think we were riding in like 40 degrees through the desert, and that was my first ultra race, so definitely pretty challenging. But some other races that pretty savage are like the Tracker. They're pretty long, still 13 hours, and so Tracker's pretty hard. There's lots of, I mean, it's funny because the shorter races, they might only be 3-4 hours, but they're just like full gas, like some of the UCI races. But I'd say mentally for me this year it was Badlands. I love this one. Someone's asked me my favourite coffee and pastry. So I love Americano, or to be honest, a batch brew, but some places don't call it a batch brew, like a drip coffee, or if not an Americano with a dash of oat milk in it. And then I'm guilty to an almond croissant. I blimmin' love an almond croissant. In Girona, there's a bakery called La Puntiel. If you haven't been there, go there. Unbelievable and so cheap. The London pastries are just a rip-off, to be honest with you, but they are pretty good. So tips and tricks for Tracker 360, someone's asked. I would say just get used to doing long period of time on your bike. Make sure you're happy with your setup. There are some really chunky descents, so make sure you get your pressures dialed and get, just practice descending, or try and get out a bit earlier just to recon a bit of it. I always like reconning to know what I'm faced with. But yeah, make sure you get your nutrition dialed as well. There's 2 or 3 pit stops. I think it's 2 pit stops. So just make sure you got a spare pair of hands. There's always people out there. You should always just ask on social if you don't have anyone helping you, because so many people help out at that event. But yeah, dial your nutrition and be comfortable with your bike setup and riding for a long period of time, and you'll smash it. Someone has asked, why is my mum not in more videos? What, like this one? Who are your friends?
What do you want? What's your name? You've got rather nice plumage.
Yeah, my mum's hilarious, but I'm actually trying to get her with my new sponsor next year, an e-bike. So we'll probably be doing some funny video with my mum in full race kit and an e-bike. So my mum Kim will feature next year more, I will assure you. I will be going to Iceland again. I don't know if she'll come to that one because of my disaster there last time, but I'll try and get her along to another race. But yes, my mum will feature more, promise. I think everyone just wants my mum to do YouTube, not me. They don't want to listen to me. Best route of the year. Oh, that's hard. Race route or the training route? Because I think, to be fair, what would be my best training route? To be honest, Girona's just the dream for gravel. Myself and Maddie Nutt. Some of you guys probably know Maddie. You probably follow her from the gravel world. We did a really cool gravel route it was like half gravel, half road in Girona, like the iconic climb Rocacore, but you kind of loop around that. But basically, wherever there's a good bakery or coffee shop, it's going to be a good route, isn't it? I love doing like coastal loops in Girona, but in America, Oh, Oregon Trail, that, I bloody love that race. Do love that race. Amazing. I mean, it's so hard, but the views are amazing. Like, one minute you're in the sand, next minute you're with snow. Crazy. But I really, really love Bend. I could move to Bend in America. If any of my followers live in Bend, well, do you have a spare room? Because I'm coming back next year and I really love it. I would say Badlands, if you are looking to do like a bike packing. I know obviously I did that mad event in one go, but a lot of people actually bike pack it over a few days or a week, or do whatever you like, to be honest. It is the most stunning route ever. You might want to do it maybe when it's a bit cooler, because obviously when I did it, it was so warm. But honestly, being in the Spanish desert is like the most insane riding I've ever done. So actually, that was probably my best route this year. Why didn't I say that? Badlands route, going through the desert. Although I was suffering, the landscapes were insane. So I recommend Badlands route bike packing. What are my plans next year? Someone said, well, you're going to have to wait for the next video. But yes, as I mentioned, no more Felt United, but something really cool. And me and Dylan are still good friends. He obviously misses me on that team. Like, we were jokes together, weren't we? But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, some exciting stuff to come. Can't wait. If you have any more questions, just whack it in the comments below and I'll write to you. Because I've been so bad this year, haven't I? So I owe you all some replies. But yeah, I promise you, Straubs' YouTube is being elevated next year. I'll have someone like helping me film and stuff, you know, helping me get the footage so it's not all on me, because it's hard work. But yeah, I'd like to say a massive thank you to you all and have a great new year.